Inconsistency is not a discipline problem. It's a nervous system problem. You are probably a visionary founder who is spiritually aware. That's usually who I attract. So welcome to my page. Welcome to my video. And you're energetically sensitive naturally. However, we can't make that a excuse not to show up, especially if you're trying to build a business. And so it's important to first understand that it's not so much a discipline problem. It's your nervous system responding to a capacity of not feeling safe. It's just that simple. And in order to make the nervous system feel safe, you have to train it. This is something that I see, and this is a consistent issue with spiritually aware visionary founders. You want to show up. You have these beautiful ideas. You have these phenomenal offerings. And you got your little flyer, which is always so adorable to me. And you post it and you feel good about posting. You may even do a video about it. Get a few likes, you get a few views, and you're like, okay, the momentum's there, right? But then you don't show up the next day or the next day with a follow-up. You wait maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then after that, you show up expecting to get signups. Doesn't work that way. We live in a hyper informational world. People absorb every single day. Half the time, they're not even listening to what they are absorbing. If anything, it's just background noise. People are easily distracted. So it's not like they're not interested. It's more so make them interested by showing yourself that you're committed to what you do. So don't take it personally. It's just where we are right now. And so it's not your pricing. I want to say that too, because what happens is a lot of people start looking at, well, maybe the pricing's too high. And this is how you now destabilize your income and you bring your value down based upon after one time you posted and nobody didn't sign up. That doesn't make any sense. So don't disvalue yourself. Don't just check yourself out. 9 times out of 10, it's not the pricing. And if they have an issue with the pricing, you let them have the issue with the pricing. You don't change that. It is consistency. That's what's going to build trust over time. So you don't have to show up every single day if that's not what you want to do. I totally understand that. But you have to show your audience that you're available, especially if you want them to sign up for something. How you move in the world is how your nervous system is trained to respond. Write that down. So important. So, how you respond to life, to experiences, your nervous system stores that. So, anything that challenges that capacity, it's going to create friction. And so, what I hear, this is what I hear. Well, I tried to post more than once, but then it didn't feel in alignment. So I didn't feel called to do it. This spiritual language will keep you stuck. Okay. So let's remove the spiritual language for a little bit because you're using it to honestly be a victim to your own creation. So we're going to remove that. And let's just keep it 1,000 for a minute. Let's just keep it down to earth. Your nervous system has been trained to hold a certain level of capacity. And now you're challenging it by showing up more than usual. So, of course, your nervous system is going to respond and say, hey, what are we doing? But you don't let the nervous system dictate your movements. You're the person who has trained your system to respond to that. You are in charge of you. And just like how you build a muscle, you go to the gym and you build that muscle to get stronger. It's the same thing with your nervous system. So it's going to be a level of resistance, but you move right into it. And then as you're moving into that, usually what happens is the mind starts to come online and say, what are we doing? Do we feel safe? Do you know enough information? It starts adding all these different layers, narratives, and stories. But if you are spiritually aware and you're functioning from spirit, then you listen to the wisdom of what your spirit is telling you. Your spirit is not interested living in fear and living in a cage of your mind or your nervous system, okay? Your spirit is always going to encourage you to keep moving, to keep going. So mind, body, spirit have to work together. The spirit governs all. So that voice that is clear, that is concise, that's the voice you listen to. And it's not about feeling comfortable all the time. It's going to feel uncomfortable because you're training your capacity to hold more, to be more visible. Spiritually aware people who are naturally sensitive, this is another layer. And that is learning to be visible. You have to show up. You want people to show up at your event? Well, then you have to show up for the people first. Being visible is telling yourself that you're ready. You're ready for people to see you. You're ready for people to experience you. I remember when I first started to offer offerings online, and I was nervous. I was anxious. However, I still showed up because another layer is that you have to believe in what you do, no matter who's watching. So you learn to move with the resistance. And were there offerings that nobody signed up on? Yes. They were good offerings too, but nobody signed up. And I was okay with that because at least I said I tried. So then I just got better. I said, well, what is it that I could have done better? And I made those changes. And then I did it again. And then people signed up. So you stay consistent because possibly they may not sign up the first time, but they may sign up another time you're doing it. They've been following you for a while. They see that you show up and you are bringing depth and wisdom and clarity to them. That is how you start to curate your clientele. So I want to give you 3 pathways that will help you to get more clear as to how to show up more consistently. The first thing is that don't post from chaos because people do feel that. They may not have the words to describe the energy behind what they feel when they're looking at something, but best believe they feel that. You want to regulate and then post. Because when you're functioning from that regulation, you're not attached. In my scarcity recalibration 4-week container, this is the work that we do. You actually learn how to regulate. So that way you can position yourself in your business as the CEO, as the boss, and learn how to hold more and build from that capacity. The next one is shrink the expectation. And what I mean by that, you don't have to perform to be seen. If anything, it's better. People want authenticity, especially nowadays with AI. People want to get to know you because when you try to show up big and you're forcing that level of capacity, your nervous system is automatically going to get dysregulated. And then all of a sudden, you're not showing up anymore. The video doesn't have to be 5-6 minutes. It could be a minute and a half. It could be a minute. And you're just naturally talking about something. You're training that muscle to post again and post again. The last thing, number 3, is to build repetition, not intensity. This is how you train your nervous system in a pattern, because that's how nervous systems get trained. So if they consistently experience a certain pattern, then the nervous system is going to say, oh, okay, well, this is the norm. So now you take that, you're creating content, you're posting consistently, your nervous system is going to start getting used to that. And the next thing you know, that intensity, that resistance is just not going to be there. And if it is there, you know how to regulate yourself to move forward. When you are just posting whenever you feel called or when you feel it, that is training the nervous system to work in spikes. And that right there is exhausting. Bursts from Monday, you start on Monday and I don't see you till next week. There's no trust. There's no momentum in between. So you have to learn that it's not all about your feelings. It's not all about the calling. It is learning that you have a choice. You either allow the mind and the body to control your life, or you listen to the spiritual and sovereign voice that is telling you you have the capacity to hold more. If you know you're inconsistent, you know you need some assistance in this. This is the work that I do inside the Scarcity Recalibration 4-week container. It begins April 8th and we go to April 29th. We meet once a week. Click the link on my bio if you're interested.